Hello and welcome to another update video about the Verasity. Yeah, VRA, probably one of the more bullish charts that we've talked about in recent weeks and months. And I don't cover it too often, but obviously we've been talking about this yellow support area in the last few videos as a potential turning point, and we start to see at least buy reactions. It's not enough information yet to really confirm that the price has indeed bottomed here in this support area. But what we have on this chart, and I explained that in previous videos, hopefully quite clearly, let's go to the daily chart, is that on this chart we can give the bulls a chance. We can give the bulls a chance, especially as long as the 0.00305 level is holding. So we have a potential 5-wave move to the upside in the white wave count into the October 2021 highs. It is not the best 5-wave move up, but it is a 5-wave move in the white wave count as a wave 1. Could also be counted as an ABC structure, but as I explained in previous videos, as long as we're holding the 0.003 level, I go with the white wave count. So basically a 1-2 setup. And then in the small detail here, we have another 1-2 setup. So for this second wave 2 or the sub wave, in this particular wave count, we've got a support area between 0.003 and 0.004 basically. The idea was for the price to come into this area and form another low below, first of all, this low, which was the A wave low, which happened, and maybe even one more low here in the yellow box. But you need to understand that whenever these boxes are reached, basically the price is, you could say, ready for turnaround. The signal level, or that's the signal that I indicated to you in the last video, was the break above the trend line. And I highlighted to you that it could really be that if we break above this descending trend line, because the initial trend breaks, that then basically, a new uptrend is starting. So is this already the beginning of a third wave rally? Well, see, for me, this is highly questionable for a few reasons, okay? But nevertheless, these are the areas where you could have bought in had you used our support areas and analysis and, aligned them with your trading plan maybe. In the end, I can really only give you the areas where with a high likelihood the price will attempt a turnaround. And to be honest, this one worked 2 or 3 times actually. So from a strategic point of view, what you could do if you're a pullback trader, you could, for example, scale into these support areas, and when the market then makes a rally available or makes some profits available, you can just start to scale out and realize some of those profits. You could have done that here 3 times just to explain a potential strategy. Always remember that analysis is only one element of trading. You have analysis, then you have basically the trading skills, strategy, a trading plan. That's basically the second pillar. And then you have your emotions. So all of these need to come together. I can only provide the analysis here. So, however, it turned around where it needed to. But the other reason why I'm not very much convinced that a low is in is that obviously we haven't seen that last low. Because I would really like to see, or I would have liked to see 5 waves down here in an, obviously from a corrective standpoint, I count that as a WXY structure. And in the Y wave, then an ABC. Now it could of course be that in the Y wave we have another WXY, but this looks very much like a 5-wave move, but due to this spike, you can count it as a WXY as well, and then the low could be in. That's why I often say, and I cannot stress that often enough, do not trade the waves, trade the count. Do not trade the count, trade the pivot points, the support areas and the resistance areas, because cryptos like to do WXY structures, and then sometimes the last low doesn't happen. I have to say, I'm still leaning towards another low, but that is, as I just explained, the analysis point of view. From a trader's point of view, this is the area where a turning point can happen. And then as a trader, you always have to decide, okay, do you catch the falling knife, which this move to the downside was? Or do you trade a breakout maybe, which this trend line break would have been? I informed you about that in the last video. Or do you basically wait until a first impulse shows? And well, this could be an impulse. It's certainly not a wave 4 anymore, so we'll take that out. So when the first impulse shows, and then you basically wait for the first pullback to occur to buy back in, or to buy in if you haven't bought yet, you know. So this is obviously what you need to decide. Do you buy the falling knife? But if you buy the falling knife, the price can just drop lower. So maybe just keep it small on the way down, maybe only spot position, maybe make sure that you get out below the 78.6 FIB level. And now obviously, as a rally shows above resistance, we need to understand that so far this doesn't look like a complete impulse. So first of all, it's likely still going to push higher. What I don't like is the look of the double bottom. So again, I'm still leaning for another low, but I cannot rule out that this is, even though that's a highly speculative one, that this is a 1, 2, maybe a third wave. If we get a 4 and a 5, we have potential 5 waves up, and then the 3-wave pullback could generate the next setup, okay? The thing is, at the moment, I mean, this is just, we need an impulse and a 3-wave pullback. Until then, this could, for example, just be an extended WXY structure, or even a WXYXZ structure, which is very, very complex, a very complex correction here. WXYXZ. You might even, you know, label that differently, but then in the Z wave, another here, A wave, yeah. Maybe this is the B wave, and then we come down once more and see. So don't just assume that this is already the start of the third wave rally. The next setup after this one, in my opinion, will occur after the next 3-wave pullback. So from an analysis point of view, what do? I am still leaning towards another low, because the, one second. What do I do here? Because the trend hasn't shifted. Yeah, the trend only shifts when we make higher highs and higher lows. Now the higher low hasn't happened. Yeah, the higher low part hasn't happened. So I need to see that. And from an analysis point of view, I am now going to wait until this is topped, form the local top, will then provide support, which would be the next setup for higher on the way down. I hope that makes sense. And we can say that we are tracking now the 50% retracement level as support area, and against that level, which is 0.0042, the rally can continue. So typically I use the 50% retracement level. Yeah, I mean, if you are trying to chase here, which is not a good idea in my opinion, but if you want to trade here an extension higher, I would always use the 50% FIB level as a guide when broken to the downside, that it's probably going to come down. Yeah, and this rally failed. At the moment, as I said, it's only a 3-wave rally. It's not 5 yet. So with 3 anyway, we cannot trust that it's going to do something more bullish. The point of the 50% retracement level is that if it now comes down, and if it forms a 4th wave for another 5th wave higher, it needs to hold that 50% FIB level. Resistance-wise, structurally, we are now at resistance 0.0047. Above that, we've got 0.0055 and then 0.0058. Hopefully that makes it a little clearer. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.